What's up, fight fans and cannabis activists alike? We're back for another edition of My Marijuana Chronicles, sponsored as always by our good friends at O2 Vape, which just released the newest addition in innovative vape technology, the Flip Ultra, all new design. It supports the lightning cable, the micro USB cable, so you don't have to worry about charging. It has a locking mechanism on the back so you don't have to worry about flipping when unnecessary. And for the first time ever, a digital display which has the battery meter, the puff counter, and you can adjust the voltage by 0.1. Make sure you visit o2vape.com, use promo code MyMMAnews at checkout, and get 20% off your order. On this edition of My Marijuana Chronicles, we have a very special guest, 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu black belt, EBI veteran, combat jiu-jitsu veteran. I'm talking J.M. Holland. We chop it up about his use of cannabis, his potential future in jiu-jitsu tournaments, and some of his favorite jiu-jitsu moments. Keep it locked. Back with another edition of My Marijuana Chronicles, sponsored as always by our good friends at O2 Vape. Make sure you check them out at o2vape.com and use promo code MyMMAnews at checkout for 20% off your order. I got my man J.M. Holland. He is, man, I got a list for him here. He's a 10th Planet black belt. He is a Finishers podcast host with my man Zach Maslaney. He's a combat jiu-jitsu veteran, an EBI veteran, Eddie Bravo Invitational. He is also, in my personal eyes, I think he has some sights set to be an aspiring comedian. JM, what do you think about that, man? A lot of people don't understand how funny you can be.
No, man, I'm just hanging out. I was like, yeah, we were talking before the show. I don't know, man. My mind is crazy. I don't know what I do. I just let it rip.
Let it rip. Whatever comes out, it comes out, and we'll deal with that afterwards, right?
Yeah. I mean, dude, we've all been watching comedy for years and years, man. I'm a big comedy fan, so I don't know. I just kind of have fun and just enjoy myself.
Hey, man, that's the only way to live life, honestly. So I want to ask, first and foremost, how is everything post-pandemic and 10th Planet family? How's everything going as far as opening back up? How has the pandemic been for you guys? And is there any silver lining coming out of it?
Man. A lot of people are waking up to a lot of stuff, man. Like,
yeah,
all the stuff that's been going on that we were talking about, that Eddie's been talking about. Just seeing everything that's going down, and it's crazy. But jiu-jitsu is still around, so that's good. I've been pretty much doing jiu-jitsu the whole pandemic. I never really stopped. When it was like just starting, like people were really nervous. And I was like doing privates and like doing stuff online and just doing what we could to just kind of make people not forget about us over at the jiu-jitsu school over there, because we're not, we're not like a local restaurant where people are like, hey, make sure we save this restaurant. You know what I mean? So, but we got a real strong community. We've been working out the whole time. And the whole thing with like McDonald's being essential and like all the liquor stores being essential. And then jiu-jitsu is not essential. I was like, all right, because, we travel a lot. I thought I had Corona back in September when we were in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, a lot of people did, like last year.
Yeah, I thought I had it. Like, and a lot of people have been saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, I personally think like this was just like a way to everyone to get rich. Like, this is a way to like, It's crazy. It's crazy. Like when you look into all this shit that has to do with Rona and like Bill Gates and all that, like, it's mind blowing. And like someone's trying to just start now, they'll ask me like, what do you think about this? I'll be like, man, I've been putting in like 6 months of work on it. You're like 6 months behind.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's like, hey, bro, can you summarize 6 months for me?
Yeah. The school's doing good.
Good.
We're getting ready for competitions and stuff like that. Race is getting ready for a big fight. We got finishers coming up. We got a lot of little projects. So, I mean, we're fighting the fight to get back. Like, it's just like anything else. We've always gone against the grain. That's why we're at where we're at, because we just kind of always did what we wanted to do this whole time.
Love it. I want to ask you a little bit about Grace, man. She's something, she is phenomenal. First and foremost, she's absolutely insanely phenomenal as an athlete. And you and Zach have both had the luxury of seeing her turn from, a little girl that's just tearing apart the competition to, a young lady who's she's following the straight and narrow. She's doing her schooling. She's crushing jiu-jitsu. How does that feel as a coach, man?
Yeah, that has very little to do with me. Like, jiu-jitsu, like, yeah, she got good jiu-jitsu, but her, she got a great, we all got great support systems, like she's got a great family, and, we got the whole team, and Eddie loves her, like, people love Grace, so, like, they're rooting for her. And she's just, she's got her shit together, dude. What can you say? Like, that's just who she is, Man, I don't know. She's awesome. I've been talking about Grace for weeks on like podcasts and stuff like that. I've said so much good things about Grace. But man, I learned a lot watching her roll, and she looks fantastic. She's competing against Danielle Kelly, who's a black belt, a Silver Fox black belt from out on the East Coast. She'll be like a super match or a special fight on that jiu-jitsu overtime card Eddie's doing.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be a good fight. Like, a lot of people are going to see that. So that's awesome for, we're training hard for that.
I want to ask, is there any other, obviously Grace is a big part of the system and everybody's supporting her, but is there any like diamonds in the rough in the Finishers family and the 10th Planet family that you guys have under your roster that's just aching to get out in that breakthrough scene?
There are a lot. Yeah, we got a lot of guys, got a lot of purples, a lot of browns. Man, yeah, I'm not even going to be the best competitor at my own school anymore. It's going to be crazy. Zach Edwards just moved to Austin. We got Gabe. I got tons of guys. Renee, Will. The list goes on. I got a bunch of young kids that are teenagers right now. By the time they're 24, yeah, it's going to be, it's not just like me and Zach. It's like our students. It's crazy. We're only getting better as we go. But there's a lot of, it's one of the toughest rooms outside of maybe New York City, or like, it's as close to like it's a pro jiu-jitsu gym. Like, guys that are trying to do pro jiu-jitsu are there most days, and then there's like, it's, we teach a lot of beginners. We got a lot of new people signing up right now. But there's some good training in there. You get a guy that's maybe like, been doing jiu-jitsu, like a purple belt or something from another school and not really used to our style. Like, they're like, wow, like you guys train way different. So, because Eddie, like on the East Coast, there really isn't a lot of 10th Planet schools for a long time. And we're like really strong out here. So, when guys come, that's like, you normally go out to California for training like that. Train with Eddie or something like that. You got 2 of his black belts, 3. Thor is like number 4 in the world in ADCC. So we're the real deal now. Like, we work really hard. So. Yeah. Now we're like there.
I'm curious, and this is just my own curiosity coming out of me, because being from Delaware, when I was competing in kickboxing, there was right down the street a school that called themselves 10 Planet Delaware. I've never heard of a school being 10th Planet in Delaware. Did that exist? Was that a thing at one point at all?
Shit, I don't know. 10th Planet Delaware?
Yeah. I couldn't.
Dude, there's been multiple instances of people like getting caught rocking 10th Planet when they shouldn't be, all that, trying to jump on the hype train. Like, I don't know. Like, you're going to get, if you can do that, and then you're going to get found out though. Like, there's people looking for that.
Yeah.
You got eyes everywhere. So all they got to say to one owner or one moonhead is like, who's these guys in, wherever city, and we'll find out.
Yeah. So obviously this interview's about cannabis, MyMMArijuanaChronicles, right? So you're one of the men that I wanted to talk to. Obviously, you and Zach Maslany have a very, very amazing dynamic. When you guys are together, the rapport you guys have, the patter bouncing back and forth, it's awesome. But I want to ask you, when did it click for you when cannabis got involved in your life?
I'd say like just doing jiu-jitsu and stuff. I kind of was, doing more of that. I was like hesitant. I probably didn't smoke like even now I don't smoke a ton. But, I don't know. I got like when I got started, like Zach was like a big, marijuana dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was hanging out with him all the time, and then like I was kind of nervous about it because like we've all had bad experiences where you smoke too much weed or you have a bad experience or whatever. So I was kind of like, and then all the propaganda from when you're a kid,
Mm-hmm.
reading Eddie's book and just like being around jiu-jitsu and then being around Zach and you just start you start dabbling and then it becomes more of a thing. Now it's just like I don't know, I use it for training and recovery and just my mind, like working on my brain.
Yeah.
And it's not something bad like alcohol or like something like that or anything else. It's just like I don't know, as time went on I just stopped thinking of it as a big deal. Like I was like it was a big deal. I don't know. Now it's legal practically everywhere. I feel like everywhere I go it's legal.
Right. And the reason why I was bringing Zach up before that was because obviously transitioning into the Finishers podcast, it seems like, you get a cup of coffee, roll a J up, and then you guys go into the studio and just fucking rip it. And it's educational, it's comedy, it's an all-around great time. Like, where does that dynamic come from with you and Zach?
I've known Zach since I've been like maybe 9 or 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
I've known Zach pretty much my whole life, and we've been trained. We're two guys that kind of have a general understanding of how to train people from like how we've been trained since kids. So like, we're like before I was one of Eddie's black belts. I was at Tiger Schullmans for like my whole life till I was like 19, and I was pretty good. And then that's where I got like we both got our foundation there. Like Zach fought for them and like all the way back in 2001. And he was like a really good MMA fighter back before people even knew what MMA was.
Right.
And,
I was still in high school then.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I was maybe like 12. So he was already a champion back then. I've known him for, so we already think alike because similar roots, you know what I'm saying? Like in training methodology and like, how to prepare for camps and stuff like that. We've done it so many times together at this point. I mean, how many times have we gotten ready for an EBI match or a kickboxing fight or an ADCC tournament or, I mean, over and over and over. So it's just chemistry and just kind of letting it, no egos. You got to watch your ego. Like you're working with someone. So like, even people try to test us. Like they try to test, like if me and like back in the day, people were like, are you and Zach like, all right? Like they try to like start shit between us and stuff. It's weird. But it's a special relationship. Like even my one with Grace, it's definitely like not normal relationships that most people get to have. So, it's cool and it helps.
Yeah, and again, I keep harping on the you and Zach thing, and I'll stop after this. But the reason why, and I'm going to finish with this one, is both of you guys being such a positive role model, both just happy-go-lucky guys. You seem like you're positive figures in the jiu-jitsu community, right? I'll say that. And
Thanks.
so with that being said, both phenomenal teachers, but you guys have students, tons of students, I'm sure kids under your belts. I mean, is that a little bit of conflict of interest when you have parents that might not be so approving of cannabis, or is there anything there?
No. I mean, dude, I'm not blowing weed smoke in my school. Like, that's just something. It's not something like, it's not cool to like. You just do weed or just don't. Like, I don't have to like let everyone know or like, I'm kind of letting everyone know right now. But this is just not an atypical thing.
Again,
but, there's time and place, and be respectful. Don't be an idiot. Just because you smoke weed doesn't mean you have to like blow in someone's face at like, I smoke weed. Like we get it. Time and place for everything.
Yeah.
And as far as people coming, they find out I mean, they don't have to come to my school. They don't have to sign up at my school. They can sign up at another school. Not everyone like. The role model thing is cool. Like that's probably like the part I least enjoy about my job is I have to be responsible. Because I have people that think like they're, I'm a role model for some people.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be, but that's just a product. Like, I got a lot of young kids that, probably think like, oh man, JM's the man. Like, which is silly, but, I don't know. I don't like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's not that big a deal. I don't even put that much effort into thinking about it. I'm smart. I'm not an idiot about it.
Right. And I think that's what this whole thing is about here is the proper usage of it and then the abuse of it. And I'm not about the abuse of it. Obviously, I have, my medical license in Delaware, but I want to ask, where did you, I mean, obviously we talked about what got you into marijuana, but what do you specifically use it for? Is it to calm your mind going into training? Is it for post-recovery, CBD? There's so many aspects of the plant now. Can you navigate through your experience in cannabis and what helps you?
Man, it helps it's just, man, the grind is ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Like, just the everyday grind of it. And like, it's just like, it's something you use just to, sometimes you're not eating or you're cutting weight or you're miserable, marijuana helps. It helps with like, bad shit happens,
Yeah.
That helps, sometimes you've been avoiding some shit, in your mind. Like, you haven't really taken the time to look at a problem as much as you should. And, you smoke a little bit and you come up, it forces you to kind of look at that, or like it might make you face something you might not want to face. Now in jiu-jitsu, that's every day. Like we practice being uncomfortable all the time. So it's kind of like it keeps you on your toes. I feel like for me, it keeps me kind of not, it's just kind of, I don't know what I use it for. I just kind of, I don't know if it just feels right.
Therapy.
Yeah. Feels good. I go into training relaxed, sometimes my best work competing, I was under the influence. I think, sometimes I get nervous to partake before a match because it's like a big thing. But honestly, I should probably do the opposite because I do really well when I'm kind of not ripped where I can't even see straight, but where I'm just kind of like, in a nice spot where I'm just, because it makes you feel certain things. You want to start stretching out. You want to start working on your breathing. You want to start sweating. It's hard to move your body every day. Do jiu-jitsu, 6-12 times a week. You're doing 2 a days, or you're teaching, you're training, you're showing people moves, and I don't know. For me, it's just something that I kind of saw a lot of people I respect doing, and they had a cool attitude about it, and they were successful. And so I didn't really mind like trying it or like giving it a shot. I don't know. I haven't really thought about my relationship with weed too much. I just kind of smoke it sometimes.
Well, I'm trying to dissect here just a little bit because I've heard you say in previous interviews and you just kind of said it now, how you get kind of anxious before competing. Before, you've said in interviews you hate competing, and which is it's interesting, but it's also understandable. I understand the angst that goes into it, but a lot of practitioners, it's like that's what they're practicing for, is to, obviously to get better, test their skills against someone else. But you've also found the proper mix of knowing your right dose and going into a competition, opposed to going in, bird sober, feeling nerves, might be crushing, crippling, everything like that. So it seems like you found a way and the proper dose to make it work for you.
Yeah, practice, like people like, I go to the weightlifting gym where I lift, and they're a great group of guys. They're like a strength and conditioning crew, and they're not really into they're not into that really. They work out and they're great at what they do. They're just, they don't use, and they can't believe we use and like come in and lift weights. Like before you lift, like, dude, my typical strength and conditioning session is pretty brutal. You know what I mean? It's most people wouldn't be able to do it. I've been lifting weights 3-4 years straight, like a coach. And, they kind of like, it's like a big joke that they like think it's hilarious. Like, we have guys coming in and they're a little, you could kind of see it on them. And, we just work out. It's just something that you can handle or you can't handle. I know guys that they take one puff of marijuana and they start passing out or they start convulsing and shit. Like, weed is not for everybody.
No.
Even like my parents and stuff, like, I'm sure they smoked when they were kids, but they're not like, it's just not conducive to what everyone's doing. But like, people are on the grid, they're living a certain way. I almost feel like, when you're like a marijuana smoker, you might have to come to face with like some shit that you're not comfortable with about your life that you don't want to change.
Right.
You're gonna fight that. So I think a lot of the way like the American lifestyle is like has a lot to do with that. I think like the way people have to like piss test to get jobs, I think that's ridiculous. When I was a kid, I thought that was the dumbest thing. But I don't know. It's like I don't know what I was talking about.
Well, adding on to that, like you were talking about with your parents and, a lot of different communities, there's a proper usage for each individual, and it is a medically used thing. And obviously with that comes the CBD market, which has been flooding for fighters lately. And I mean, the creams, the salves, the everything is just, it's booming right now. It's like I'm stumbling on my words right now because it's probably one of the quickest growing products as far as I've seen in sports history. It went from zero to bam. You can get it anywhere, at a gas station, whatever. What are your thoughts on CBD as far as post-recovery or?
I love CBD. Helps sleep. If I don't always have CBD on me, but like if a student will bring me a bottle or we'll get a bag of stuff from a sponsor or something like that, and I'll be taking that, where I'm like, dude, I love this for my sleep. I don't want to be like dependent on it for sleep.
Right.
So I don't take it all the time, but I mean, I use it, if I have a pain or something like that and someone, I would just say the only thing with CBD is just watch where you're getting it, because there's fakes, there's
like
everything else, and there's legit CBD, and I don't know. You just got we had a CBD sponsor back in the day, and they turned out to be totally like, we talked to another guy, they're like, that shit is, they gave us the product label, they're like, this shit's fake. I'm like, damn.
No shit.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you got to be careful with like, so you go to the Indian guy down the street or whatever, and he's got the like hemp bombs or something like that they're called. Hey, John Jones takes gas station shit, so it's all good. Like I don't even know. Don't listen to me.
There goes that JM comedy I'm talking about.
Boom, dude.
So, like I said, with the booming atmosphere of just cannabis, period, I mean, they're making competitions now, high rollers.
Yeah, I love high rollers.
I was talking with Big Lon on 420 actually, and great guy. But I was wondering what your thoughts were on high rollers. Can we ever expect to see you there?
I was at the last one. Kevin Burbick, I think, was competing, and I was watching him. Man, what a cool event! We got to see Jeff Glover there. We got to see they had like this big joint they were passing around. It was cool. It was in Compton, California. Yeah. In some like rec center, and dude, they do a great job, man. It's really cool. Like their lane, that's perfect. My one brown belt, Renee, won high rollers last time they had it. He won his, I think he won the purple belt division. Yeah. The advanced or the expert division. I don't know which division it was, but he won a pound of weed.
The pound of weed.
Yes.
I say that quote unquote because.
Don't start shit. Don't start shit.
No, not starting shit. Not starting shit. I'm talking legal purposes.
Oh, okay.
No, dude, I love fucking high rollers. I fucking love high rollers. I'm not a shit starter,
cool.
Brother.
It's cool. Like, high rollers is a man. Kevin Burbick, like he won the absolute. So like a lot of my friends do him and stuff. I would do a super fight for high rollers or whatever. Yeah. Of course.
I'm dying to cover high rollers live. Dying to.
Yeah, no, it's a great time, man. I highly recommend it. It's really cool people. Yeah. Zach was right in his element. You know what I mean? I'm kind of more reserved with my shit. Yeah. I'm kind of nervous. I'm just kind of more like I'm shy at first. But I kind of relax after a while. But Zach was right in his element. It was a good time. Like we probably had like another 6-8 kids with us. When I mean kids, I mean like guys in their 20s.
Right.
And we were all hanging out. We had a great time watching the matches and stuff. They had a qualifier out here in New York. That's how Renee got out there and won. So it's another opportunity for grappling, like for jiu-jitsu guys, and it made a lot of waves when it first came out. Like a lot of people got a lot of eyes on it. I mean, and a lot of people even in like MMA use, So
yeah.
I mean,
Tyron Woodley, there's a ton of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, there's more than that. There's a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's what I'm just saying. That's what the point of this is I want people to understand that a lot of mixed martial arts competitors, a lot of jiu-jitsu practitioners, I've practiced minimally in jiu-jitsu. Like I said, most of my background comes in kickboxing, and even that isn't the best of the best. But I've been in the gyms. I've seen these people, and they thrive on cannabis, man. A lot of combat athletes, they thrive on cannabis because it's a win-win no matter what. You calm your nerves, you calm your body, you relax your body. I just don't understand where the stigma is behind it, and it blows my mind.
Man, dude, you know how it is. You can't do anything without making people upset or whatever, you know? I don't think anyone's coming, like, nowadays, weed is, like, a non-issue, like, in real life, I feel like. I walk around, right. I'm not, like I said, like, I'm not, you know, it would suck to, like, I don't know, man. A lot's got to change with, like, the laws and shit on it and all that. You know, there's people in jail for that shit right now that shouldn't be. I mean, it's dark shit. It's shit that's been going on for years and years. But, like, yeah, man, live your own life. You got to make up your own mind. You know what I mean? Don't have people just make up your mind for you. You know, sometimes you got to give things a couple tries, or, you know, maybe you did it younger in life and you have to wait till you're older. I don't know. And then some people like that I really like and respect absolutely hate weed. Like Faraz Sahabi, like, he's a legend. That guy's a great coach, one of the best in the game. And he's like, I don't understand why. You know, it's not everyone's cup of tea, dude. It's just
right.
But for me, like, in my house, you know, it's legal. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, who's gonna come into my house and, like,
tell you what to do in your fucking house?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're being smart, you know, like when I was a kid and stuff, you'd be out, you couldn't smoke weed because your parents hated it or whatever. And
right.
You have to get yourself into trouble to get some, and then, like, you know, you're out God knows where, driving, smoking on the road, you get pulled over, now you're in deep shit because you couldn't smoke in your basement or whatever, or in your backyard, you know. So you know, I think it's silly, and that's why I had a lot of fear, and I don't want to go to fucking jail for that shit. That's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They put you in a cage for that.
What do you think needs to change to destigmatize it for good?
Dude, there's so many people out there doing that, like a lot of, you know, dude, look at artists, like all the artists that, you know, it's not even like a thing anymore. There's like guys like, you know, Be Real, like he does stuff like Wiz Khalifa, obviously, Snoop Dogg. Like, there's all these successful people that are vouching and driving the whole industry. You know, like we've been to cities where, you know, it's something that people can do that can, like, they can be productive and, like, run businesses and, like, do good for the community because of it, and, like, it doesn't have to be this dirty thing that, like, get people killed and in jail for. It's really ridiculous. Like, shit. Yeah, and, you know, it's just nuts. It's just I'm shocked sometimes at the shit I see.
Yeah, shocked indeed, man. I want to ask you about this is going to take us completely off topic off of the marijuana thing, but kind of transitioning into another realm of, you've gotten a long relationship with Eddie Bravo, right?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah. So what are some of the craziest conversations you've had with him, and some of the deepest conspiracy theories that he's taken you on?
Shit. Dude, Eddie, I really think Eddie could, like a one-on-one with Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think Eddie would, like,
school him.
He knows his shit. And you know, he's not an idiot, obviously. So, you know, a lot of people I respect think conspiracy theories are, you know, especially nowadays, dude, it's not really, you know, dude, people are so scared to, like, just get called something or get labeled something because, you know, you got to have your own mind and, like, make up your own shit. Like, because if not, like, you're there's a war on your mind every day. Like, there's people that they sound like the news. They come to you and say something. They're like, and you're like, wow, you sound like CNN. Like, it's really crazy, you know. And thank God I had Eddie, you know, kind of around when growing up, kind of just to, and for everyone. I mean, he's on their podcast saying it and stuff. I've actually got to, you know, hang out with him a bunch. And, like, you know, we were in Japan one time, and he went in on Flat Earth, dude. We were drinking at some Thai bar, and we were just hanging out and killing time. And it was like me, him, Compella, Zach, and I think Compella's wife. She's a black belt too, Lila, and Eddie's known her since she's been like 15. And they were talking. He was like sweating, like that's how much.
He's passionate, bro.
Flying off of his head. Hey, he's not, dude. He's not like you know. I learned a lot from Eddie, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, so I go with what he says. I mean, some of these podcasts he's been on, like Tinfoil Hat and stuff, he breaks shit down. Crazy.
I mean, not for nothing, but I mean, you could say what you want about a lot of the crazy out there conspiracy theorists, but dude, a lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire. And, you know, a lot of shit gets covered up from the government. And then when people go deep digging, where there's smoke, there tends to be fire.
You're seeing everything come out right now.
Right, dude.
You're seeing everything. It's right in front of your face. You know,
Yep.
like some people don't like looking because it's dark shit. You know, like once you know some of this shit, you're like, wow, like I didn't want to know that.
Yep. So I wanted to ask. Oh no, go ahead. You finish.
Yeah, not everyone. You know, they don't like getting poked at with questions. You know what I mean? Like they don't like someone prying at their brain. You know what I mean? So that's something that you got to work on, right? Like nothing should bother you. Like if someone says something to you, it should never bother you. Like, you know, you say something and people are like, oh, they freak out.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the move. You know? Try to just.
If you keep a calm, I've learned that if you keep a calm head and listen to people and converse with people, that usually tends to work out a little better than when you say something and I get pissed and fucking fire back. And then you're pissed at me coming hot and then you come fight. It just seems like normal conversation that people have lost throughout history. It's just arguments on top.
It's just a lot of people's lives are set up. It's like I said with the marijuana thing. Like your life has to be set up where you can do marijuana. Like my stepdad, he can't smoke. He's got a great job. He's got things to lose. You know what I mean? There's super successful people that don't work for nobody. They work for themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's I've wanted that since I was a kid. I'm not gonna do all that. You know, in a way, you know, they go to work, they got their lunch, they come home, they do their shit. Not everyone's set up the same way.
Right.
You know, you bring up some stuff at work that might get you in trouble.
Yep.
You know, you might
fired.
Someone that doesn't like it, you know, they start talking shit to HR or whatever. Dude, you know, so I tried to free myself from that. You know, I've known I wanted to be off the grid, you know, but it took a lot of, you know, we're finally living good off the grid. At first, you just get off the grid and isn't like you're off the grid, but it kind of sucks. Or you get off the grid and then it gets good, you know. So it's going great.
Now you're learning to understand why the fuck you got off the grid.
Yeah. You know, I tell my guys all the time, man, like, you know, I don't push. You know, I just do what I do because it's for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't care if you're on my team. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be cool or fucking impress you. You know, it's just, it doesn't even come up. It doesn't even come up. If we're on the mat training and stuff like that, shit like this doesn't even come up. We're just, I don't know.
Train with whoever's there. Bodies. Bam. I was going to asking, you said you knew for a while you wanted to be off the grid. You knew you didn't want that normal 9-to-5 lifestyle with all the shit that came along with it. So when did you realize that it was BJJ for life? Or not BJJ, obviously 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, no, I was fighting MMA and then just kind of figured out on my own that, like, shit, being the UFC champ, that's, you know, you gotta be different. You know what I mean? Different as in, like, you gotta be athletic, wrestling, you know, not saying I couldn't. There's a lot of guys in the UFC I watch, I'm like, man, that could be a good fight. You know, like, I watch guys and I'm like, man, I could beat that guy sometimes, you know. I just decided, you know, I just believed in Eddie. I knew he had a vision for jiu-jitsu, you know, and jumped on board. It's just been working and ever since, you know. Like, probably when I was like 19 or 20, I was kind of like convinced that, like, after I failed out of school, I failed out of college, I really had nothing. I didn't fail out. I just didn't go back.
Mm-hmm.
but I had no idea what the fuck kind of job I was gonna do, and I was just like, you know what, I already had years and years of martial arts. Like, it's a trade. It's like if you welded, your dad was a welder and taught you to weld when you were 6, and you grew up till you were 19. Like, I'm not a college kid. I'm gonna go weld. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. I was just like, I just didn't want to get punched in my face no more. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking the kickboxing and I love boxing. I did all that. I was just getting concussions and stuff. And I was like young. I was like 22, 23. I'm getting fucked up, and it's like, now as a grown man, I would just train different. Like I just train how I train, but I could do MMA right now and be fine. I don't know. It was just jiu-jitsu is different. Like, the whole philosophy and behind it, and the lifestyle behind it, and the people in it. Very cool people, you know. And there's a lot of jiu-jitsu guys that are just strictly jiu-jitsu. There's a lot of jiu-jitsu guys that are more like they had a karate or martial arts background before they found jiu-jitsu. But man, jiu-jitsu is the coolest just because it gets vetted. Like, the hardest, I feel like, you know, be a black belt in jiu-jitsu, that's saying something. Still, you know, some people, they're, you know, they talk shit, but I think for the most part, like, if you're a jiu-jitsu black belt, you know, people are like, okay, that's pretty legit. You know,
that's respect.
Yeah, you have to earn that. There's no one giving those out. You know what I mean?
And what percentage do they say actually make it to black belt, that, like, you know, go from white to black? What was the percentage that actually finished? I can't remember. I knew it was discussed for a while, but the percentage was low, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
Well, because it's not like, I don't know. It's like it's tough, man. It's a tough grind, but it's worth it. You know,
yeah.
It's worth it. And it's just like, you can always do it. Like, jiu-jitsu is like something you don't need money to do. You need money because you need to pay for it, I guess. But you don't need, like, especially no-gi. Like, you have a t-shirt, shorts on, you can, like, start rolling with somebody, or, like, practice stuff. It's just something you either like doing, you know, you enjoy it, and you understand there's a value to training it. You know, I feel good when I train. You know, I feel good when I don't feel good when I'm not training. You know, when I'm not training, I don't feel like my best self. So you can believe there's value in it, or just think it's rolling around on the floor. You know, there's like definitely something deeper to it. You just have to be open to that.
Yeah. What does your competition future hold?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even competing's cool, but, like, I can just make money at my school. I don't know. We'll see. I'll make more money competing, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what comes up. I might be competing in the next 2 months.
Right.
Why not? That don't change anything. It don't really change anything. I'm always on standby for, like, a tough, you know, I've been doing combat jiu-jitsu now. Maybe I'll go back and do sub only. Like, I don't know. I don't really think about it. Think about it. There's always going to be a fight. I don't think they're like, I could not fight for 10 more years and fight 10 years from now.
You live a very stress-free life, it seems like. Very go with the flow. Not stress-free. I shouldn't say that. Very go with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should write down some goals and stuff, like what I want. But I did when I was like 12, and that's what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm living like I already did it.
You're right.
I already did it. Like, so it's all good. Like, I could just, who knows? I'm gonna start riding motorcycles. I want to be good at shooting guns. I'm gonna keep doing jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna build businesses. You know, Zach's doing great with the tournament. We're gonna push that. We're gonna push combat jiu-jitsu. We're gonna push just jiu-jitsu. I feel like I'm, like, you know, on the East Coast, sub only, like, finishers is the jam right now. So we're in charge of a whole generation of martial artists coming up. Like, this next show coming up on the 12th, it's gonna go down. We got a lot of good fights on that one. You know, a lot of the guys I fight, like, you could see me on that. Someone could drop out, and I'm just in that. I just don't, you know, I'm always ready.
Always ready.
I can get, you know, who knows what the fuck happens. Who knows? I'm just, you gotta be training, because you gotta be ready, because if an opportunity comes, you can see me in bare knuckle fighting championships one day, maybe.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, exactly. It depends. People got to pay me. I did all my free shit.
Right.
Like, I did all that. Like, I'm fighting the same guys over and over again still for, it's just like, all right, you all can keep doing this.
So needless to say, the options are open.
Yeah. It's not like, Grace is in this next jiu-jitsu overtime show. She's going to be, there. We're going to be there at jiu-jitsu overtime, like with all those guys. So I'll be like, if someone gets hurt, you could never know. I could be in that tournament. So there's qualifiers I can go do. I travel, I roll, I'm not trying to be number one in the world flow grappler. I could give two shits about flow grappling. Like, I just, it's like making jiu-jitsu a sport, what I mean? Which is cool, I guess, but that's not what I enjoy about jiu-jitsu. Like, a lot of people, they do jiu-jitsu because, like, they like the sportive aspect of it. I just was never really into that.
No.
To me, martial arts was never a sport. That's why I kind of did. I got MMA. I was getting like shitty decisions, and I was like, dude, people are just not fighting me. You know what I mean? They're like, they're playing a stupid little game to avoid fighting me, and they win decisions.
Following by the rule set to.
Yeah, it's just shitty. So like, I didn't like that, and then it's the same thing with jiu-jitsu now. But that said, if someone's like, hey, JM, you want to grapple with someone this weekend for $500? Like, I'm always gonna say yes.
Yeah.
Easy money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Easy money. I'm in shape. I'm always ready. And I'm dangerous as fuck. Like, you fuck up once, I might, you know what I mean? I can beat anyone.
Yeah.
The better you are, the better I look, I feel like. Like, when I fight guys that aren't that good, like, I feel like they make me look not good.
What's the fight to you that has meant the most, as far as could be winning, could be losing, as far as experience, just what meant the most for you as a martial artist and a man?
Damn.
Yeah. Laying it down thick.
Which one's the most important? Shit, they're all pretty important.
Right.
I learned from every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You learn from every one of them. I think the Chad George match was pretty dope. I'm pretty proud of that one. I thought the Sadeko match was pretty dope. Sadeko, he's like dude from Brazil. He's a third degree black belt. Chad George won the whole tournament. I fought the toughest guys in that shit.
Yeah.
So, dude, like I said, I'm down to fight anyone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down to fight anyone. Most guys won't even do that.
Right.
Won't even do combat jiu-jitsu. Different breed of grappler.
Yeah.
The grappler that kind of, most grapplers ain't trying to get hit.
No.
IBJJF, they're not even trying to do heel hooks.
Yeah, I was wondering, I wanted your take on that, by the way. I'm sorry to cut you off, but the very heel hook and leg lock like atmosphere now in jiu-jitsu tournaments, it wasn't that much of a surge years and years ago, but now it's very heavily.
It's going to go away.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away. This is what I mean by it's going to go away.
Okay.
You're going to always see leg locks, right? Because that's just part of it now. But, like, there's only going to be guys with the level of leg lock to, like, there's going to be guys that can shut down leg lockers, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be guys that learn to shut down leg lockers. Like, what the Rotolos did at that, what is that show called? I forget. But it was a fight to win, I think, where the Rotolos went against Ethan and Mickey. Those were great matches. Like, Rotolos got the game down on how to not get leg lock / pass. They're starting to figure that out because they were getting leg locked. This guy, Zach Green, I fought from Philly. He leg locked one of the Rotolo twins at an ADCC trial. Like at first when the Rotolo started doing sub only, they were getting heel hook. Now they figured that shit out. So everyone's watching them. I'm watching the Rotolos. I'm like, damn, these kids are fucking killing it with the passing. Their bodies are crazy. You're only there. So there's that game, that shutdown game. There's the leg lock game. Guys are gonna get wise to shit. Now you're getting. People are so tired of leg locks that Eddie's doing a show where they're only doing overtime. That's how tired people are of leg locks.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, leg locks work, dude, and they win.
Right.
I get it. But no one's going nuts over dudes getting their feet ripped off. Like,
dude, and it can really fuck up your.
I don't care. Like, if a guy can leg lock me, I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not like super sweating. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not letting my leg get blasted off for $500.
No, fuck that.
No, that's stupid, right? So, I mean, are there guys that would let that happen? A lot, yeah.
Their ego gets in the way. They refuse to tap because of ego.
Dude, more power to them. That's some ballsy shit. I wouldn't let it be great. I'm just saying, like, people are, it's a leg lock sport. That's how tired people are of leg locks. Like that we want to see the arm bars, we want to see the triangles, we want to see the rear naked choke, we want to see the twister, we want to see the shit that works. I mean, you're gonna see leg locks in UFC. I'm shitting on leg locks, but at the same time, I use leg locks all the time. Like,
all right,
it's part of it. It's a reality of the situation. You can not like leg locks and just keep bitching about it and stay shitty at leg locks, or you can learn fucking leg locks and you can not get leg locked. You have to be prepared for a guy that's only gonna go after your legs.
Yeah.
If you want to fight like that, then that's cool with me. Like, that's cool. If you want to fight like that, I mean, heel hook hero, dude. But I'm not gonna be just the heel hook guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to do this shit. But I don't know. I'm an idiot. I'm not successful. I have no time. You know what I mean? It's just not my thing. I don't like looking like other people.
Right.
I don't like. Thor is one of the best leg lockers in the world. Like, John Blank, he will fuck your leg up. Like, there's guys, he's training real hard. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what happens with him now?
Right.
I mean, he something about John. He tapped Kevin Casey. With
yeah.
So here I am talking shit, and then my best guy is real. You know what I mean? That's how jiu-jitsu is. Like, that's just what it is. Like, you can complain about it, but
or you can learn it.
Right. You should be able to stop it. It's not that powerful where you're like, this is an impossible move. You're gonna break. We've seen it. Like Lachlan Giles, he heel hooked all those big dudes at ADCC, but he also got shut down by Lepre. Real nice. Like, if you watch that Lucas Lepre match at ADCC versus Lachlan, holy shit. We talk about that all the time. Shut down game. Like, just shut him down. Pass the guard. Shut him down. Pass the guard. Shut him down. Pass the guard. That's a whole nother style. 10th Planet's about guard and MMA. You understand what I'm saying? So right. Its focus is guard, play, and MMA.
Mm-hmm.
So that you understand why I like combat jiu-jitsu and why maybe I don't like a leg lock sport.
Right.
Because even in MMA, there's tons of rules in MMA.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it was. There's tons of rules that make it a sport in MMA right now. It's a boxing sport. It's a kickboxing sport. You're seeing guys now like Aljamain Sterling just took that dude's back this last weekend and just choked him the fuck out. Right?
Yeah.
That's the strategy you're going to be seeing from a lot of people. Get to that back, choke the neck. Get to the arm, finish the arm bar. You're seeing guys leg lock in MMA. It's shit. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying.
It started with Paul Harris in MMA like years ago, and then I think that's when it really made that
Belcher
splash.
Beat shit out of him. Belcher finished him for doing that.
Yeah.
He knew he was going to go after his legs.
Yeah.
Alan Belcher's legs are like my chest. They're huge. His calves, massive legs.
Yeah.
You got to have the strongest legs of all. Like, if your legs are stronger than mine, they're going to be hard to break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if my one leg is that strong that, like, you can't break it with both your legs and your hands, it's a strong-ass leg.
Right.
How strong your leg needs to be.
Yeah.
If you're fighting like some crazy leg locker, you got to train. You got to be prepared to go against a leg locker.
Right.
There's different style. Like, you gotta. That's a totally different game you're gonna be playing. You're gonna be playing standing, passing, pressure, putting pressure on that guy, trying to get knee slice. Don't let him get your legs. You let him get your feet, you're fucked.
Endless possibilities, man.
Yeah, and then you get a guy like an MMA guy like Chad George, where that's not gonna come up at all. You're never gonna get on top of that guy. You understand what I'm saying? Like, a guy like he's never gonna get on top of that guy. You're gonna have to be on your back. He's too good. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You gotta submit him somehow. How are you gonna do that?
Yeah.
So, dude, every match I do, I learn a ton of shit, and I have so much shit to work on. Like, I've been doing jiu-jitsu full time, maybe like 6-8 years, and I'm just starting to get good. I feel like I'm just starting to be competent. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Deep shit. Jiu-jitsu's the man.
Jiu-jitsu's the man. Well, like you said you're always ready. So we're going to close it down. I have a couple rapid fire questions for you. So I hope you're ready for these. If you're ready to go.
Let's go.
Favorite BJJ practitioner or jiu-jitsu practitioner? Because I'm including the 10th Planet. All right. Favorite MMA
Not
fighter?
including 10th Planet? Hold on. Who's my favorite? I don't know. I'm my favorite. Me.
Gotcha. Favorite MMA fighter?
Wow. I have a lot of favorites. Big fan of Diaz brothers. I'm a big fan of Conor McGregor. I'm a big fan of Masvidal. Who else? I like Shane Burgos. I like Jimmy Rivera. I like shit. I don't know. There's a ton.
Favorite music to vibe out to after smoking?
What's that lo-fi studying beats? You know that?
Dude, I fucking listen to that all the time.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Favorite cannabis-based movie?
Half-Baked.
Favorite show while medicated?
It's between Dr. Disrespect's YouTube and Rick and Morty.
Your favorite strain?
Shit, I just smoke it. I don't know what's going on, dude.
Your favorite way to intake cannabis?
Just smoke it. I smoke with a pipe nowadays.
Gotcha.
Shout out to Heads Glass. They made me this sick custom pipe that's it looks like a weird dragon alien thing that's like this weird smoke contraption. It's pretty dope.
Nice. Well, like I said earlier before we were on record, we and our good sponsor at O2 Vape, we want to send you one of our pens. We hope you'll take it. And also, again, like I told you, Mazlani, my boy Zach, I still have yours for you. And I will get your private message, or I'll get a PM for you with your address so I can send that for you guys. So I do appreciate you being on, JM. Any final closing words for fans, for 10th Planet family, for the world?
Just be on the lookout, man. You never know. You never know when you'll see us again. Right? Till next time, everybody.
Stay ready. There he goes, JM Holland. All right, there he is, my man JM Holland. Proud to have him on My Marijuana Chronicles and share some time. For JM Holland, I am Adam Christ. Make sure you keep it locked to MyMMAnews.com for all your fight news needs.